Hello, friends. How are you doing? My name is Kim, also known as Yarning for a Smile, and you are visiting Yarnyville. Yarnyville is kind of my interpretation of a knitter's notebook slash crocheter's journal, and this is basically where I just document all of my yarn-loving adventures, as well as other craft-related tools, reviews, and just funny antics that I happen to get myself in on a daily basis because it's a lot. It's a lot. I am Kim, also known as Yarning for a Smile, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you for checking out my channel and for coming to Yarniesville. I would be ever so grateful if you hit that subscribe button and become a family member. I love to grow my channel. I love to meet other content creators, channel makers, yarn crazy people like myself who just love all things squishy and craft related. And I promise I will return the sub. And if I don't happen to see that you subbed and I'm not subbed to you, please reach out to me and be like, hey, can you give me a sub? And I will. Because unfortunately, sometimes YouTube and their notifications do not work properly. And I'm sure we've all known that. And also, YouTube has had this thing lately where it's unsubbing people for no reason, and I haven't figured it out in a while. But it's happened to me with several channels that I have subbed to, and then I go to find them and watch shows and am no longer subbed to them. So I had to resub to them, which is just kind of crazy. It's just the way it works, I guess. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back and checking out my channel and watching some of my videos. I just really love to meet other people like yourself who just really loves to knit and crochet. So if you're one of those people, then you're in the right place. You really are. You're with a kindred spirit, trust me. Today though, is going to be kind of like my last video where I did the review of the Jimmy Beans and Della tote, but this is going to be regarding another one of their bags called the saddle bag. And even though it is Tuesday today, September the 6th, this video will probably not go up till next week because I'll record and gather my opinion and thoughts on it as I go throughout the week and weekend, because I'll be using this bag on Saturday as I have to attend a wedding. And it's small enough that it won't be too much for me to have to carry, but it's also big enough that I can slip in a project because I'm not going to know half of these people at this wedding. I'm probably going to only know like 4 or 5 of these people at this wedding, and I'm an introverted person, so that kind of like is very intimidating, not to mention that it's going to wear me out like no other, mentally and physically. So by the time Saturday afternoon gets here, I'm just going to be wiped out. Yeah, so I don't know what it is with introverts and being in crowds, but it just wipes us out. So we have to have something to kind of do mindlessly to retain some of that energy because it just goes out the window. But I made a live about the saddle bags a couple days ago because Jimmy Beans had put them on clearance. They are doing away with the saddle bag because they are bringing out 2 new bags that I know of for the fall. One being the rucksack and one being the satchel, which was like the doctor's bag opening version of a tote, but it's going to have a smaller opening than the tote. I'm definitely getting the bag because it comes in this pretty purple color, and I love purple. And that's actually going to be released in September. Pre-orders are going to go up, and that's going to be part of my my present to myself, because even though I bought this bag and the other bag with money that I'm getting for my birthday, I always gift myself something as well. And I do love bags, and why not? Why not? But the saddle bags are currently 40% off. When I last looked, they had a pretty good selection left as far as color-wise. But I know that those tend to drop pretty fast when they have their sales. So if you're wanting to get one, you might want to kind of check out and see how many are left and keep an eye on it. I personally got the olive, which is the green color, and I'm going to let you know, I haven't looked at it yet, but I did go ahead and cut this plastic because for some reason, I struggle with this plastic. I don't know what it is and why it's so defeating for me to try to open this at times. But this is like some heavy duty plastic. I just can't get it open. So I went ahead and preemptively struck against that. But we're going to do this unveiling, and then I will take the bag with me this week, the rest of the week, into the wedding, because I think it's going to be the perfect size to carry a project and a few things, but not so big that it's going to be this bulky thing that I have to carry around. Because this wedding's outside. It's supposed to rain, and I'm in Alabama. So we got humidity, rain, bugs. There's going to be mud. It's like an outdoor country wedding. It's dress casual, so I'll probably wear like a cotton dress. But this is wax canvas, so that part will be secure. It does have this leather panel on it, which is why I need to go ahead and open it now, because I need to go ahead and seal that leather so it'll be waterproof before I go. And I like to do that like a couple of coats. And I use, that's my dog snorting. Okay, so I'll use a couple of coats, and I'll post the stuff that I use in the link below. I can't remember what it's called, but I use it on all my leather bags, and it helps just keep them water sealed so you don't get those ugly water spots on leather. And then I will add that to this video and upload it for your viewing pleasure. So let's dive right in. Okay, so I went ahead and removed the plastic because the wrinkly can get kind of loud. And this is it in its little dust cover. Again, I always keep these dust covers just for storage purposes because you can poke a hole in them and hang them, and it'll also protect your bag. Here it is. And I'm gonna have to be honest, I did not expect it to be this big. This is much bigger than I thought it was. It's not too big that it's going to be too bulky. I'm glad it's the perfect size that it is, because it's just a thin little side bag. But I really thought it'd be a lot smaller. So when I saw these, I kind of envisioned the Vera Bradley, I think they were called mail bags, but it might have been before the mail bag. The mail bag might be the thicker one, but it was just the thinner kind of rectangle, not really square, that just had the one zipper pocket. I can't think of the name. It's been so many years. But I figured it would be that size. But this is more of like the mail bag size, which is like, to me, a great size. This is the olive. And it says, handmade, one-of-a-kind pieces in vibrant hues and rich textures. The Lotus collection is responsibly sourced and carefully handmade by families in China. Variations in weave, texture, or color may occur on this product. The Lotus collection, women-owned and unoperated. And it's between Della and Jimmy Beans. So before we go any further, let me just say, if you watched my previous video, which I will link down below, of the Della tote, and you do not like the wear that showed on my bag halfway through my week, where I slip my hands in those front pockets every day, then this may not be the kind of bag for you. And I say that because this leather, as you can already see, I've just taken it out of the bag, but it already has scuffs and scrapes on it, which, again, it's leather. It's gonna happen. You know, it kind of gives the wear and rustic look to your bag. I personally enjoy that, but some people do not enjoy those type of things. And if that's going to bother you, then, you know, this may not be the bag for you. But it passes the smell amazing test, because I love the smell of leather. I love the smell of my yarn too, but that's a whole different story for another day, children. It's kind of lightweight bag. It does have the D clips here, and that is for the strap, the messenger strap. These do have the swivel clips on there, which I've already stated in a previous video that I love. It has the padded sleeve. This is black. I want to say that my other one is gray there, or the blue there, but maybe it's black as well. I can't remember. But I thought it matched the bag. I'll have to go back and look. I can't remember. It does only have the leather on the one side because this is where this little slidey thing is. And the reason I point that out is because I have some bags that have this on both sides. And what they do is they put that about halfway up so that the clasp is what attaches to the leather. And then they have the nylon straps with a little another attached metal bracket so you can adjust it from there. But that way it kind of matches. I kind of prefer that look better just because it's symmetrical. But it's not that big of a deal. That's just one of those little things. It does have the holes for the stitch marker pin and stitch markers here, as we've already know if you've watched any of my other reviews. I think it's cute and all, but it's just not very functional because those things fall off. The pins, if you put them in backwards, do stay, but if you bump it, you're going to lose your stitch markers. Ask me how I know. We do have the same style adjustable clasp like the other bags, but it is, just a snap-on button. You don't have to really unbutton that each time. You just have the little snap. The Della logo is embossed on a leather label, which is right here. And as I shown in my last video, the tote on my roll top bag, unfortunately, the stitching is coming undone and that is falling off. But it's an easy fix, and I am pretty rough and tough on my bags, which is why I like the leather and the canvas combo, because they're durable and they can put up to the horrible conditions that I put these bags through. It's a good thing. The back, we have the zipper. It looks very similar to the zipper size of the tote, which means that my favorite little alpaca wallet probably will not fit back here. And it goes down to that my longest finger is touching the bottom, but it's pretty wide, but I don't think my wallet's going to fit in here when I go to pack this up. And when I do the second part of this video, I will be sure to let you know, because again, that's an ideal place to keep your wallet because it's right next to you. And it seems like that's what that pocket was intended for. But if the pocket is not big enough to support most wallets, then what's the point? I mean, I guess you can store other stuff there. I just don't know what to store there. So when you look at the top of the bag, you have the leather part that covers a flap, and then you have like this flap here. This flap here, which I think is kind of odd because I thought it would be different. I thought that this pocket would be what would be on the inside, because this pocket is what has your slip pockets. It also is what has your zipper along the back, and it has your yarn cutting floss thingy. It has where you put your pen and pencils, and it's just a single snap. Which it pops pretty easily. So it has the card that tells you all about the purse or the handbag, and you have your stitch marker pen, your straight darning needle, and your little bitty pocket journal. But this is just kind of a long slip pocket. I do want to point out these little things that say do not throw away. I don't throw these away. I actually keep these in the zipper pockets because it helps keep mold and mildew from developing in your bag, especially if you live in humid climates like myself. So let's look at the major part of the bag, which is this big flap section. So once you pop this open, this is where all the coolness happens. So this is a pocket that opens apparently here on the side, And what this is for is so you can slide your pattern in there. So let's pretend like this is my pattern, because apparently I don't have any in front of me right now. And you just slide it in, and then your pattern is there for easy viewing when you're on the go. So right up under this pattern panel, you have a slip pocket here that's just thin. This would be a good place to slide like your iPad in or your phone. Oh my gosh, this thing opens up even more. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. This thing's a lot cooler than I thought it was. So then we have this zipper here, and this is kind of weird for me, to be quite honest, now that I'm seeing this. So this is where your yarn goes, and I guess your project. It's kind of a thinner section, because here's your yarn guide, but you have this big toothy zipper that is going to grab your yarn, like, but I mean, you can pull it out there, but it's still going to hit your yarn. I really anticipated that this part would maybe be this, so that when I'm walking around, I can be knitting straight from my bag, and I have all my pencil holders and sleepy pockets in the secured section, which would be here. So that's kind of odd. This is a very grabby zipper, so that does kind of worry me with finer yarns. So if you have this bag, I'm curious to hear how this has affected you, and if that zipper has grabbed your yarn at all. It is a really thin section, but I mean, that should be plenty of room to do like a mitten or a sock project for this, but I don't know how, because that's kind of not a very wide opening. I'm not sure how, I mean, I guess it can stay like that, but I'm pretty sure it's going to fall. Just not really sure how that's going to work yet. And I just noticed that you actually open the bottom of the bag, and there's a whole nother zipper here. And it's the same really grabby zipper, but it's another big pocket. So I guess that would be a great place to keep your wallet as well, because it's hidden amongst, let me get this plastic off. It's hidden amongst all this other section and this section. So really the bag has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 sections if you really count the zipper in here. I mean, it's a lot bigger bag, and it has more sections for organization than I originally realized. But I'm kind of bummed that this is not the section for your yarn. So as you're walking, you can just have like your little yarn guide here and your yarn coming out, and you can knit on it. And that you have to have this flap open. So that means if you're trying to walk and knit, you're going to have to bend this over, which is not going to want to really stay. And then hope your yarn doesn't get attached by your zipper. I know not everyone walks and knits. You know, most people in all the photos, their bag is laying down and this is open and they're looking at their pattern. But when I do travel, even when I go to buy groceries, it's very common to see me standing in line, knitting or crocheting something, and having the yarn come out of my bag to pass the time, because where I live, Walmart does not have a priority of their customers. So when I go buy groceries, there's usually like one cashier and 15 people in line. So that 15-minute stop at that Walmart is gonna run you about 45 minutes, because you're gonna be standing in line for 30 minutes. Why not use that time in a productive manner? So I always have knitting or crochet with me. And what I'm probably going to do is just use this section for my knitting and crochet anyways, because it is a little bit wider to accommodate a cake and not have my cake squished. And then use the other section for my wallet. But I do wish it had the pin loops in the other section and the guide in this section. But that's just my first thoughts on this. You know, I don't know how it's really going to work out for me, but this week I will use this bag. I really don't have plans to go anywhere until the wedding, hopefully, because I really have a lot of stuff to do. Like right now, there's 2 loads of laundry right there that I am currently folding. And why my hair looks like this? Because I've been cleaning all day. All day. And doing homeschool. So if you're watching this, I hope you've enjoyed this little unbagging situation. I would love to hear your comments, and I hope you continue to watch to see my overall thoughts after I've put this bag into use. See you later, alligators. Hello and welcome to part 2 of this review video. I'd also like to say that even though I stated that I was going to pre-treat my lovely leather before I took it to the wedding, prevent it from having any kind of water damage or a lot of scratches, I did not. Mainly because I don't know where that is. I know I have some and I put it up somewhere so I would not lose it, but I don't know where I put it. So unfortunately, it got some scratches during the week, which is fine. You know, the leather conditioner I have that waterproofs will actually help fill some of those in. But it's kind of a good thing, so that way, in case someone who buys this bag who doesn't have leather conditioner or the treater at home kind of knows what they're going into. And like I said, if you are one of those people who watched my previous bag video of the tote and saw where I was slipping my hands in that front slip pocket and the not really the wear, but the color illustration it did on the wax canvas, this may bother you. It does not bother me, but obviously the leather shows scratches that occurred during its use. So I only really took this bag out for the wedding and to buy groceries yesterday, and it got obviously some scratches. And again, I'm a little rough on my bags. I don't mean to be. You can also see where I struggled to get this pin in. And again, when I put my pins in, I start at this the head part and I slide it so that it goes in the back part with just the needle poking out front. And I do this so that way if I do bump into this, I do not lose this whole pin really easily. But I also don't put my stitch markers on here because either way that I've tried it, they still pop open and I either drop the whole pin and the stitch markers, or this way I just wind up dropping the stitch markers and not the whole pin. And I usually just get a lobster claw and some jewelry making supplies and attach that here and let my stitch markers hang from the lobster claw. But I can say that I did enjoy this bag. As you can see also when it's packed up, obviously it's not that little super thin bag anymore and it grows. It's like a little Mary's carpet bag that holds all the things. I did seriously enjoy it though. I was even able, hit myself in the face, to slip like a regular plastic water bottle, not a reusable one, in here to the side when I took this with me to the wedding. And I do have a skein of sport weight pashmina, which has a decent amount of yardage to it, and my project, which is a baby sweater. And I was able to keep this in the bag like this, and I walked around with it snapped like this so that the yarn comes out of the side part, and I was able to pull because I'm pulling from the center of the cape and knit while walking around without having to worry about it catching on the yarn cutter that comes with these bags. It's basically just the same thing that you find in your dental floss. And because I had it pulled over there, it did not get caught on the pin. Now, this area, again, is not meant to hold your yarn. Unfortunately, this first pocket all the way under here is meant to hold your yarn, like I said in the first of the video. But that wasn't very practical to me. This part works very well because I was even able to keep my water bottle, my thinner one, over here when I was walking around. So it worked out great. I did also add a cute little Bath & Body Works hand sanitizer. This is from last season. I don't know if they're coming out with these again this year, but it's just adorable. And the back pocket I just used to hold some quick essentials. And I actually stuck my phone in here, which was a great place for it. You can see that wax canvas again. It's going to start showing, you know, use. It's not wear and tear. It's just the nature of wax canvas. It doesn't really bother me, but some people it will bother. The reason on this front section, I would have stuck a pattern here if I had a pattern to stick in there, but what I was knitting did not require a pattern, so I didn't really utilize that. I just stuck some paper in there for the purpose of trying out the pocket. This front slip, I just have a cute little notions pouch from Chicken Boots, and unfortunately, if you did not get to experience Chicken Boots and their wonderful products, I apologize, but she has retired and it just breaks my heart because they have some really cute knitting crochet bags as well as cross stitch, but it's been many moons and I still have all my stuff that I love and that I cherish. So I just use that for that slip pocket. And then for this pocket right here, let me move that out. For this pocket right here, the big zipper, I did notice the more I used this, the easier it became to zip. Now, if you do have a bag like this and you notice your zipper is not the best smoothest zipper, you can actually get a bar of soap and rub it across, or a crayon, and that wax will kind of like a clear crayon or a white crayon just on the zipper part, and it will help soften that up. But this is the area that's supposed to have your yarn and your project in it because there's the cute little yarn guide. But that's also the teeth of doom for yarn because they are kind of big zipper teeth. So I was not keeping my yarn in there. But this pocket did make a great place to hold my wallet. And I must say the alpacas and the olive, it's a match made in heaven. I also have in this pocket my essentials bag, and this bag just basically has all the stuff that I always carry with me, and I keep it in an old GGB bag for quick changing of bags. But in here I just have like little portable deodorant, which I love this brand of deodorant. It doesn't make me break out or itch. And some tissues and band-aids, chapsticks and hair bows and Neosporin and toilet spray because I'm a boy mom and sometimes I have to signal with the bathroom spray. And other random things like that. But I love this little pouch and it fits great in here. Now the reason I'm keeping these two things in this section is if you notice, this is this front snap. So this is an independent section than this major section where I kept my yarn. If I had my wallet in this part along with this bag, it's going to use up some of that space because this zipper, while it's not open to the other big zipper, there is a piece of fabric, two pieces of fabric that separates them, but they share the same space as far as this canvas thing. So if you have a bunch of bulky stuff down here, you're not going to have a lot of space in here if you're wanting to utilize this for your knitting or crochet, which I understand that's why they kept this pocket separate so that if you use all this for your knitting and crochet, for your everyday in your wallet, it wouldn't smash your yarn and stuff. But again, you can't really walk and knit with your yarn coming out of this because of the big toothy zipper. So it's just kind of one of those weird things. But this works great for holding this stuff. And this zipper is wide enough, and this pocket is deep. So even with these two things stacked on top of each other, like that, there's still a couple inches clearance, which left it able to kind of stay somewhat thin. Now, it stays like that for a little bit, But my wallet does eventually slide down, which kind of creates some bulk. It's fine. It's not a big deal. So with that snapping back, that leads me to this final part, which is again the same pocket as what I'm using to keep my project. And in here, I'm just keeping another small jujube piece, which is basically the medicine bag for our family. There's Tylenol, ibuprofen, eye drops, Benadryl, that kind of things in here. Or if anybody has any medicine that they're on, always keep it in there. And my key fob. And my adorable Hello Kitty house keychain. So I keep those things in here because they don't take up a lot of room. And I don't really need to get to those things that often because my key fob, I don't have to put a key in my car. It's just having the key fob on me. So there's really no need to grab them out constantly. But that way allows me to have more space in this bigger section, this main section that's open for my yarn and my project, and leaving my wallet somewhat secure and concealed in the zipper portion. But even with all this snapped and ready to go, let me get that bottom snap done. You know, obviously it's not as thin as it was. However, the cool thing about this, because I was thinking as soon as I set this down, it's gonna fall over. I can actually maneuver it and it somewhat stays, which was pretty awesome at the wedding because I had it setting up like that on the chair next to me, and I was able just to knit constantly during the wedding. This big leather front portion, though, as pretty as it is adding a little bit of weight to the bag. I definitely can feel a difference in the weight with this backpack compared to the roll top and even the tote. And I pack, you know, those same wallet and that same bag with my essentials and that same little blue fishy medicine bag is what I put in all my bags with my cell phone and keys. That doesn't ever change. So the only thing that ever changes is my project, really. But even when I had that same project in the tote, there is a difference in weight. This is a little bit heavier than the tote and the roll top, and it's because you have this big piece of leather. I mean, obviously leather is a lot denser than wax canvas, so you have to account for that. I think I weighed this bag and it weighed like a little over 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds with the stuff I have in it now. I don't have the measurement for the roll top or the tote with the same stuff packed, but again, I can tell you it's a little bit lighter. It's not like a huge difference, you know, it's not going to be like a couple of pounds, but it's just going to be a little bit different. And I looked on the Jimmy Bean site, and neither one of them lists the weight of the bags emptied out. And I wish they kind of did. They don't. But overall, I think this bag is definitely a win for me. I find that I really enjoyed knitting out of this and walking around. Even when I went to go buy groceries Monday and I was standing there waiting for the lunch meat to be cut, I was able to pull out my project and knit on it and just slide it back in this big part and finish my grocery buying experience. It doesn't bother me that it gets kind of bulky. I kind of like the fact that it has a little bit of a Mary Poppins carpet bag expansion availability so that I can cram more stuff in if I need to. And the fact that even though it does not have side pockets on the inside like the other bags do to put stuff in, which is where I typically keep my water bottle, I'm able to slide my 16.9 ounce water bottle in there and still have room for my project, have it snapped, and be able to walk around in it at the same time. I do think, you know, I do think it's a great little bag. I'm really glad I got one because by the time this video goes up, which will be today, September the 13th, I did look and there's only one color left of this bag left. They have sold out almost completely. So if you're going to get one, today is going to have to be your day because I'm not even sure they're going to be here by the weekend. They're that fast. And they're 40% off. So there will be a link in the description of this video for you to click on, which will allow you to buy one if they're still there, and at the same time support this channel, as well as pay for shipping of prizes and the purchasing of prizes, in which case there will be another video going up probably tomorrow about a giveaway for reaching the milestone of 200 subscribers. So thank you so much for that. And I just really hope that you found this review as helpful for you. If you have this bag already, I would love to hear your thoughts on it and how you handled the kind of what I consider weird placement of pockets. And also just to know, if you have tried one of the other bags I have reviewed, which one's your favorite? And are you looking out for one of the upcoming bags, the satchel or the rucksack, which again, definitely I'm getting the satchel because it's purple, it's coming out at the end of the month, and it has that doctor's bag opening, which I love. Like, I just love all bags with that opening. Who knows? So I hope you come back, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and check out that review as well as my other content. So thank you so much for checking out this review and watching some of my content. I really appreciate you doing so, and I wish you a wonderful week, happy crafting, and hugs and loves.